Okay, shalom and good morning, boys. Yeah, another early day getting after it. This fencing project that I'm doing right now. But what I wanted to talk about was labor versus labor and materials. Now, for the past 2.5 years since I've been in business, 3 years, I have been charging primarily labor only because I didn't want to deal necessarily with the materials. But what I've come to find is that it's better to deal with labor and materials. And let me tell you why, okay? When I quote a price for labor and materials, what typically happens is, hey, I pick up the materials and everything is included. It's labor and materials all together. So the client, is not responsible for anything. They just pay me the invoice price of what I'm charging, right? And the beautiful thing about that is that any materials that I have, so let's say, I have excess materials, or, I got excess materials for whatever, that, those materials are mine because I charge labor and materials. They agreed to the price. I charge labor and materials. So, any excess material I keep. But in addition to that, I do haul off service. So here we have is a picket fence. I put up new fencing, and this is the old fencing. Now, there's nothing wrong with this fencing. All I have to do is go ahead and spray paint it, an exterior latex paint, white or red or whatever, and I'll have a nice white picket fence. This is 105 feet of fence that I'll have. I got more to pick up. And this is another situation of, materials, old materials left over. I'm still using this stuff. Several pieces are no longer good, but like stuff like this, it's enough to, strip down, take out the bolts and stuff, and make a chicken coop or make a small structure with it. It's still good material. So, I definitely like to get all of the material that I can off the job site, harvest that stuff because most of it is typically useful. It was a lot more of this material that I had, but I used it to do some building projects already, so it's dwindling down. And then anything else that I can't use, I'll just go ahead and just throw away or burn. But this is a perfect example of an excellent find. It's just beautiful. I mean, I don't have to go ahead and buy this kind of fencing. All I have to do is go ahead and spray paint it white. So this is how you benefit, and especially if you're a homesteader or have a community. This is why it's so important to have a carpenter that's doing business in that realm on site, because you get to benefit immensely from the material that you get. So I'm getting not only am I getting paid very well, and I'm going to do a video on that. This is why you should never offer a cheap price, because if you offer a cheap price, then the contractor, or most contractors, they're going to do a cheap, shitty job. You're not. But if you pay the client well, if you pay the carpenter well, they're more inclined to do an excellent job on your project. But if you want to give them a crappy, you don't want to pay them, they're not going to do it. They're going to cut all types of corners and stuff. But back to the material thing. This is how you benefit. This picket fence, I'm going to be moving the cabin, and I'm going to put the picket fence all around the cabin. I could put it around the section of the house. But, this is how this stuff is done. I have all of the material, and I have excess material. And it's all benefiting the land due to the simple fact that, hey, I ain't got to pay for it. It's already paid for. So, when you charge labor and materials, it's all one. Any excess material, I get. They agreed to the price. They agreed to the price. So this is how we go about doing it. Word to the wise. Charge labor and material whenever you can. All right. Shalom.